Hi everybody, I'd like to welcome you back to Jeff's Non-Sport Card Universe, where we look at the history, evolution, and just plain fun of collecting non-sport cards. Now today we're going to go way back and we're going to take a look at some of the very first non-sport cards in history. Seriously, we're going to go back to the mid-1800s at a time when cigarette smoking became very popular in this country and around the world. Now, two gentlemen got together, two businessmen, Louis Ginter and John Allen, and they formed the Allen and Ginter Tobacco Company somewhere between 1850 and 1870. Historians disagree on the exact date. But anyway, they got together and they were fabulous. They were a wonderful team. They started making a lot of money. But there were so many cigarette companies at that time, they had to figure out a shtick. They had to figure out something to make them stand out. Well, they did two things. The first thing was most cigarettes at that time came in bags like this one so that it was easy to crush the cigarettes if they were in your pocket or if they were in your purse. So they came up with a special type of box that would keep the cigarettes from being crushed. So somewhere around 1885, they decided to go to the boxes and they started putting collectible cards in there, especially non-sport cards. Now, some people believe the cards were put in to be stiffeners to make it tougher to crush the cigarettes, but we can't really prove that. It's possible. What we can say is absolutely true is that their brand really took off because adults love getting the different cards and the different boxes of cigarettes, and the children adored them. So what they did is they came up with literally dozens and dozens and dozens of different subjects, usually 50 cards in each one of the series. And this got people collecting the cards like you can't believe. Now, everybody knows some of their later issues. These are the Allen and Ginter baseball cards. I have those. Yes, they are beautiful. The N27 and N28 sets. They have like wrestlers. Here's a wrestler. Here's a famous cyclist of the time. Here's one of the more famous boxers of the time. So those are very popular to collect. But our universe is non-sport cards, and that's what we're going to talk about now. So I have a ton of these. So what I did is I just took out a stack of my favorites of the sets that I collect to share these with you. If you like these and what they look like, this is just one of typically 50 that are out there. So this will give you an idea of what you can collect. So this is what went in the cigarette boxes. All right, the first one I'm going to show you is natives in costume. There were 50 of these, and they were people from all over the world in the typical native attire that they would have. This is the Frenchman. The Frenchman, ho, 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 ho. Well, yeah, very stereotypical view, but they're really beautiful cards. This is actually my favorite of all of them. This is Birds of the Tropics. These are just so colorful and so striking. This is Fish from American Waters. This is just incredible. Such detail, such wonderful detail. That's the bluefish, by the way. And then we're selling cigarettes after all. How about Smokers of the World? Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, touting that it's healthy for you. It's good for the lungs to smoke. This is your Prussian lieutenant. And here's one of my favorite cards. The gypsy girl smoking a pipe. But of course she's smoking Allen and Ginter tobacco. Of course she would be. These are dudes of the world's dudes. This is the one from Germany. This is so funny. And this is what the backs look like. They typically had a checklist to tell you what the other cards were that you needed to gather up. These are the world's sovereigns, the leaders, the kings. This is the Sultan of Turkey. Notice the colors here, very striking. This is sentimental to me because we had a lot of chickens when I was a kid. How about prize and game chickens? There are 50 of those in there. Everything from White Rock to Rhode Island Reds. I mean, these are fun. They're fun cards. Now we get to some of the more expensive and the highly prized. These are Pirates of the Spanish Main. I'll show you the two women in the set. This is Mary Read. This is Anne Bonny. They both assume the identity of men so they could get aboard ship and carry out their dastardly deeds as pirates. But this is one of the more popular of all the Allen Ginter cards, and they're tough to find. All right, this is the world's fruits. I love this. It shows a little kid stealing apples, and he's falling out of the tree, getting what he deserves for being such a little crook. Here's the world's weapons. This is the melee crease. Look at that knife. I mean to tell you, if I saw somebody coming at me with one of those, I'd be running like mad. But this has weapons, everything from swords to spears to different kinds of knives, crossbows. It's a really interesting set. Here's one for you. Fans of the period. Not like sporting fans, but fans that women would use to fan themselves in the heat. It's 50 different styles and varieties so that women would know how to keep in fashion. And men liked them because they showed beautiful women. All right, this is Songbirds of the World. This is another of my favorites. I'm partial to the animal sets. Kids really liked these and clamored for their parents to keep smoking so they could get them. This is City Flags. This is sentimental to me because I spent a lot of my early life in St. Louis. This even has the Eads Bridge that's still there today. Quite striking. This is a wonderful series, The World's Beauties. And it shows all these women from all over the world who are just gorgeous and people couldn't wait to see their pictures. Well, by today's standards, yeah, some of them are maybe not what we would consider the world's beauties. Wild Animals of the World. I love this set, and so did the children. They wanted these so badly. But everything you can imagine, every wild animal from around the world, from gorillas to lions and tigers, they're in the set. All right, this one here is Birds of America. Not as colorful as the other bird and animal sets, but still very pretty, and 50 different birds in that set. These are the world's decorations. This is the French Legion of Honor. But this set typically has the highest award that can be given to somebody for their combat service. And these are quite striking. This is flags of the states and territories, because not all the states we know today were states at the time. They were still territories. This is Louisiana, and it is incredibly beautiful. I love this. And all of them in this series, all of them are fabulous. This is one for you. How about parasol drill? Different ways that women were to carry their umbrellas and their parasols. Seriously, I just shoot mine up and hold the rain off, but not back then. They were used as ornamentation. And the women in these cards are absolutely beautiful too. Racing colors, yeah, this is sports in a way, but the way this set is put together, the 50, there are all different kinds of uniforms that are in here, and they're very pretty. Government buildings, this is the Treasury, but at that time, remember, photography was still in its infancy, so this is the way a lot of people got to see different buildings around the country. So these were quite striking. All right, so from about 1885 up to, 1885 up to 1890, Allen & Ginter had the most beautiful non-sport cards for us. If you'd like to collect them today, surprisingly, for being almost 150 years old, they're not really that expensive. If you get some of the more common ones, like the World's Decorations, if you get them in average condition, very good condition, or good condition, they're going to run you about $25. And that's not much for a card that's that old and has that much history related to it. Pirates of the Spanish Main, yes, you're going to pay quite a bit of money, especially if they're graded, but there are cards for every price point. So if you're interested in collecting them, don't let money scare you away. All right, so that's our lesson for today. I hope you've enjoyed looking at some of the very first non-sport cards. If you have any questions, please send them to me and I'll do my best to answer them. If you like what you've seen, please give me a thumbs up. But everybody, stay healthy, have fun, and enjoy your cards, and I'll see you again soon.